Honestly, oh man, I just have a huge headache. I really do. It like this whole Terra Luna Classic, like I don't know if it's a debate, I don't know if it's an issue or whatever. Like there's just people on the other side that may not understand like true data rather than like narratives. And as I see a lot of stuff that's out there, there's a ton of narratives that are like the price of Terra Luna Classic is increasing because this proposal is not passing. And I'm like, that's insane to me. Like there's a reason why Terra Luna Classic is increasing, and it usually stems from the entire market that is moving. Now, if there's a scenario to where there's an interesting thing that has happened to where USTC is burned off, or Terra Luna Classic has had some sort of major positive thing that's going on, then yeah, I mean, this is literally like the bare minimum of what could happen in positive news for one side if you feel like it is positive. Majority of the people do want burns, but there's a lot of people that will push back on those burns and validators that will push back on those burns. And a lot of people that do not know how to vote that truly are for burns. Typically, when you put those votes out there, you have like 70% of people that are for burns. It's just a lot of those people don't know how to vote on Terra Station. So the validators vote for them, and those validators will vote in an aggressive way towards the no side. But it's okay. I'm not salty for losing or the fact that it is losing right now, that it's not passing. Um, I'm more of like what I want to talk about is kind of what's going on with like prices in general, right? Terra Luna Classic to a level of a dollar is not clickbait. Um, Terra Luna Classic to a dollar and explaining no type of reasoning as to why you believe it's going to make it to there, or Terra Luna Classic to a level of $100 or all time highs without a full explanation, talking about why you believe it will get there, what are the scenarios to where it does and it doesn't, and all of that. Now, I talk about all of these things, but in my videos, I will break these things down. And the reason why I talk about these things is not because I just want to put out this video that's related to it. A lot of people have that question. And when they have that question, they get that answer. This is why people click on it, is because of the fact that they want that answer for that question. It's not just because of like, oh, um, let me just click on this video because it says it's going to get to $119. No, it's a question mark. It can get to $119. It can. There is a possible chance that it could get to $119. There's a possible chance that it could get to a dollar. Are the chances high? No, the chances are not high. They're very slim. But as we see more burns, it gets better and better. As we see more utility, it gets better and better. Right? So when we see Terra Luna Classic to a level of a dollar that's out there, I don't get turned off by the fact that people have it on their thumbnail. Hell, Oscar Ramos has it on his thumbnail all the time, but then decides to use it in like a negative light in most of the recent videos. In the past, it wasn't really that negative. It was more open to the idea. And then you see other people that are using it, maybe some people that use it for more clickbait to where they're just like Terra Luna Classic to a dollar, but then never address it. But then for me and for a lot of other people that are on this platform and even on Twitter, they will address a little bit more, especially if it's a video. You address the situation. Why do you believe it's going to get there? All of that stuff, right? So with that being said, I kind of want to address the situation that's at hand where people have messaged me recently and was like, Oscar Ramos is talking a lot of smack about you. He's calling you ridiculous. He's calling you insane. And your video saying Terra Luna Classic to a dollar in 88 days is crazy. And it's unrealistic. Yeah, I know it is unrealistic to see it in 88 days because there are multiple scenarios within the video that you need to watch in order to understand why we come to that conclusion, why that could be the selling point of that video, why that could be the selling point of seeing Terra Luna Classic thrive in the end. Because if we have the understanding of how long it could take, not only 88 days, but a more realistic scale where it's 100 days, or it's 200 days, or it's 400 or 800 days, you start to see that breakdown as to how long it will take to burn off the Terra Luna Classic, to get to a level to where we are currently, or where we will be at the all-time high, will give us that level of $1. It breaks all of this stuff down. This is why in a lot of my videos, right, people will think that I'm all for, or some people will think that I'm all for just seeing the highest price and selling at that highest price. But people that actually watch my videos know that I care about protecting your initial investment first, gathering some profit throughout the long term or even the short term, and then seeing the entire chain and the entire project thrive based on use cases and growth and potential and popularity. That's what I'm all about. And I've always been for that. So when I took a look at this video, I was like, all right, well, he's going to have some criticisms. But apparently there was a lot of passive aggressiveness that was there, because it was like, shout out to Matthew for being on this side, but also he's insane for saying this. And it's like, hold up, that was a complete 180 in like 2 seconds. And I was just like, let's see if we have more information. So I watched the entire video. It goes into the fact that he believes that the reason why Terra Luna Classic increased was because of the fact that the proposal is not passing, which honestly just blows my mind that people would think that that small thing has a large impact on Terra Luna Classic increasing, rather than the market overall being up 1% and seeing everything that's really moving in more of an aggressive manner, especially Solana and Bitcoin and a lot of the top cryptocurrencies. But I'll leave that to that, because it's not, truly factual, and all of the data, it all lines up because it happened within that time frame, right? Started passing or not passing, and you see Terra Luna Classic more positive. It was already positive, but you see it more positive. So it does line up, I guess, in a way, right? But when I looked into the rest of the video, it really talked about how the 100 or the 88 day milestone or time frame doesn't make sense, and that's an insane time frame, when in reality, I don't even think he watched the video at all. I don't think he truly watched any bit of the video, because I have scenarios that I broke down. And that's something that really, just blows my mind, that someone can talk about someone else's content in a way that they don't even know, and be passive aggressive, make it seem like you're coming off as nice in a way. I could see that from a mile away. And I was like, all right, well, let me just go ahead and shoo this off for the last couple of videos that have been the same way. But as you let it happen, it just continues to happen. And I can't just sit here and be like, oh, well, you know what? I'm cool with it, when you state no type of data, but then still talk a bunch of shit on somebody. It's like, I don't understand that at all. That really doesn't make sense. I've had success in investing using this same strategy, understanding what the highest point is, understand what the lowest point is. The reason why I got to where I am today, and the reason why I stay where I am today, is I understand the worst case scenario, the best case scenario, where I am, and how far I am on the spectrum. That's exactly why I've gotten to where I am today, and why I will keep growing, why I will keep getting to where I want to get to, is because I understand the max level of potential. I understand protecting your initial investment, but also not shortchanging your investors. When I see CRO to $1, I'm like, that's a standard price. It's going to get to $1. It's not a level of just being realistic. Being realistic is understanding that a bull market has a 2 to 3x over what the all-time highs are, usually. And as you have more popularity, it's usually more closer to a 2 to 5x that you end up seeing in a lot of those cases. So for a ton of people, or not even a ton of people, for you to say that Terra Luna Classic will only get back to less than the all-time high, which would be this level right here, 0.0005, which I have at the second level of my exit strategy spreadsheet, which is a $3 billion market cap. To say that it's only going to get to that level is shortchanging a lot of investors that watch you, because now they're going to sell at that level. And then when it does go higher, they're going to say, what happened? I missed out. I sold everything, because that's the level that you said I can get to. CRO to a level of $1. You know for sure it can get above a level of $1. It was at 95 cents previous to this. And to think that CRO is not going to be worth more than where it was in the previous bull run, that's the thing that's insane. Yeah, CRO is going to be worth more than $1. Talk about realistic perspective and say, okay, well, maybe it's going to 2x. CRO to $2 is a level that I believe it's going to get to. Because now CRO to $1, everybody that watches you, guess what they're going to do? Well, I'm getting out of the position because, Oscar Ramos says that's the highest it can get to. That's the thing that's insane to me. Now, will it retrace? Of course it will retrace. That's a popular level. That's an important level of resistance. Of course it will retrace. But you'll also see it bounce back up and continue to skyrocket, especially within the complete bull market. So ultimately, this video was not supposed to be about all of this, but it just, I don't know. I got a headache, and for some reason the headache kind of went away, and I don't know. But I don't even know if I'll post this video, but the point is that I think I need to get something out there to at least state my case. And then I don't need to hear anything of this again. You can state anything you want to state, and people can tell me that you're talking any type of shit. If you hate me, then you hate me. Just say that you hate me and move along. Like, it doesn't have to be, a level where you're like, shout out to this person for doing such a good job and leading the cause, but fuck him. Like that doesn't have to be the case, right? It needs to be like, hey, if I don't like you, I don't like you. This is what I don't like about it. Give me the criticism. If you have criticisms, throw them my way. I'm perfectly open to that. But if you're going to sit here and call out something and then not watch the fucking video, like, that's something that really does bother the hell out of me. Like, just watch the damn video, understand that there are levels to this. There are scenarios in this, in all of these cases. I respond to comments. When comments say, hey, can we get back to all-time highs? Will be a good video. Let's see if we can get back to all-time high. And guess what? There is a glimmer of chance. I don't even know if that's a word. There is a slim chance that we could see this get to a level of $120, $119. A very slim chance. But you know what? There's still a freaking chance. It's not saying that it's 100%. It's not saying it's even 0.1%. But the point is that every time we see burns, it gets that much better. It gets that much easier to understand whether it can or can't get to those levels. You know what it reminds me of when you shortchange different positions? It reminds me of people that said Bitcoin can never get above $400 or Bitcoin can never be anything. And then what is Bitcoin now? It's so much more than what it is. Now, is it going to be the biggest use case? Probably not. But the point is that people shortchange things all the time and they lose out on those investments. Those are the people that, no offense to the guy who sold 10,000 Bitcoin for a Papa John's pizza. Shout out to Papa John's, because your pizza's that good. It's worth that much. But the person that sold 10,000 Bitcoin for a Papa John's pizza, yeah, they're upset as hell. And I'm sure most of the people that shortchange themselves will also be upset with themselves when certain things do explode. Because I always hear it. Oh, I sold Solana at $50. I didn't know it was going to get to 270. I sold Solana at $20 for a 200 or 100% gain from $10. I didn't know it was going to get to 100 right now. That's basically what we're dealing with. So I don't know. This whole thing just bothers the hell out of me. And there's just a lot of negativity around Terra Luna Classic. And, I'm done with it. While I thought that there, are people on YouTube that care about looking into the data and diving into the meat and potatoes of the video rather than judging a book by its freaking cover, you don't see that. I have one of the most realistic perspectives that's out there, because that's what I do. I break down everything. I understand what your position is. Look at the realism behind it. Understand when you decide to take your level of investment. Every investment that I have, I take my initial investment first. That's the reason why I have $4,800 in Terra Luna Classic that I took as profit. I only invested $43 into it. And to turn that into 4,800 and still have 50 plus million coins available, like, that shows exactly where my realistic perspective is. It's about collecting your initial investment, protecting yourself, seeing yourself grow further, and also seeing the max potential of a position. So I'm going to get out of here, guys. I don't want to talk anymore, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.